We are 19 weeks until the Tokyo Marathon, and I've got two updates, things I just want to talk about, so we're going to get right into it. So make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, if you're subscribed watching content. Thanks so much, love you guys a lot. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Strava for all sorts of other updates associated with racing, life, and that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's begin. First thing I guess we'll talk about in regards to the Tokyo Marathon, as you guys probably already know, or for those new to the channel, this has been a goal since Christmas of 2019 to run this marathon, and because of, the world basically ending in 2020, reviving in 21, and then some weird stuff in 22 and 23, I did not get a chance to run this particular marathon. And now, it is 2023 at the time of this video. Actually, we're right about here. This is Saturday, the 28th of October, as we're filming this particular entry. Couple things happened that have been both negative and positive for the Tokyo Marathon, and there are some lessons learned as a result. So, first positive, I guess we'll start there. The good news is my coach and I, we've come to an agreement on a particular marathon training plan that is going to be designed for trying to run a sub 2:45 marathon. And now, if you know my marathon PR, it's about a 3-hour, 10-minute kind of race. And I did not race the Chicago Marathon this year because of sickness. So as a result, the question might be, is this particular goal a stretch to be able to train for sub 2:45? And I think the answer might be slightly yes. But as long as we're reaching high, and even if we don't grab it, the golden ring at the very top, if we grab even just something a little bit below it, like let's say I run like 250 or 255, that alone is going to beat the A goal I would have set had I been running a sub 3-hour marathon plan. Because, again, breaking sub 3 is like the A goal here. Running the Tokyo Marathon is also an A goal. So, you all right there, buddy? I'm babysitting a cat. Anyways, running the sub 3-hour marathon is the main goal. Running anything lower than that is going to be like exceeding all of my expectations. So, as a result, we've agreed to a training plan. So far, it looks manageable, and it's about a 15-week training plan. So, in about a month after the Turkey Trot training plan, we're going to start attempting to get that particular plan rolling, assuming no injuries, no sickness, or anything of that sort. Because I know that as I'm getting a little bit older and I'm sitting a little bit more while I'm working, there are some habits that I'll need to break as we get into more efficient, more effective marathon training. And one of those things is obviously not sitting as much, running during a lunchtime or in the morning rather than always at night, and then sitting for more than like an hour or two a day. Those are issues that are going to be resolved before this marathon training even kicks in. Like, I need to start like yesterday with these kinds of things, because again, the longer I sit and the more I try to train at a high level like I was doing previously in like 2018, 2019, where I'm running 60, 70 miles a week, the lifestyle is not as sustainable to the type of running that I'm looking for. And that's kind of what gets into some of the bad news that I had for this particular entry. And I will make a follow-up video to this particular issue soon. So, last week, a little bit earlier than last week, I did an outdoor 10K tempo session in the Nike Tempo Next Percent. So for most of you that follow this channel and know what this particular shoe is about, basically, this thing is a glass cannon type of Nike shoe. What I mean by that is that the shoe is super fast, and it's one of my favorite daily to fast daily racer shoes that are on the market. But the problem is the shoe, you are lucky if this shoe will last you any more than 200 miles without either the AirPods breaking or pieces of the shoe falling off. It's just a construction thing, and I get it. At this point in time, I've come to terms with the fact that this shoe should be bought at the cheapest price possible, because you will destroy it. Now, before that tempo session run, I was completely aware of the fact that I had caved in this particular AirPod. As you can probably see right here, it's cracked, it's popped. I don't know where exactly it popped. It might have been right here on the side. But anyways, that pod is cracked. So every time I run, there's a slight pronation that occurs in this shoe, right? Now, I would hard stop the shoe if the anterior pod is to snap, because then I risk an ankle injury going this way. But the pronation didn't really bother me, so I kept on running, and I did run about a 10K tempo session in this shoe with the popped pod. So far so good, nothing unusual from that, just makes a lot of noise because the shoe is also pretty loud, right? Come the next day, I'm running on the treadmill, and there's tingling in like my knee, surrounding the knee cap, okay? So I'm thinking, okay, maybe there's like some little nerve things going on, whatever, no big deal. But it gets progressively more irritating as I go along with my run. And at some point I stopped my, I guess it was going to be a 5-mile run, about 4 miles, and I wasn't running in these, just to be clear. And it just so happened that like I was limping a little bit, and it's not like I was in any sort of pain or soreness. It was just like irritating and just annoying. And as the days went on, going upstairs and like downstairs started getting a little tricky. Like every time I was bending my leg a certain way or putting pressure on it, I was experiencing just a little bit of like stabbing pain in places. So my initial thought was, okay, something in the knee is sore. How do we resolve this? Because I can't feel out what's happening, right? So I can't feel the sore tendons. I can't quite bend it the way I want to. Certain exercises are being inhibited because I can't lift the leg a certain way. What is happening here? Because like the pain is like directly in front of the patella, and I'm thinking to myself, oh crap, I think I damaged some bones. But the good news is there's no swelling, and there was no swelling at the time. And out of curiosity, I was just looking up like generic issues with running and knees, and of course, like no brainer, runner's knee is like the first thing that comes up. And like the symptoms described is like, you know, the pain or soreness in the front patellar or the patella area, and it's just running the front of the knee, like stabbing pain. So I'm like 80 to 85% sure whatever I was experiencing was runner's knee. And based on everything I was reading, it says 4 to 6 weeks of healing is pretty much required with this knee. And for those who probably know me personally, like I don't take that answer as the answer. Like I'm gonna take this problem head on and like fix it. So we're gonna fast forward about a week and a couple of days. So that pain started about, I would say, this Thursday, right? And then the distance was supposed to be like 7 miles the next day. I was only able to do 5, and then 4.5, and then my distance run that Sunday was only 2 miles. So by that Sunday, the knee was in a position where it was completely not manageable. And here's where I had like a saving grace. That Sunday night, I was traveling for work. We ended up going to Houston for a particular work thing. I can't really talk about it because it is kind of a top secret thing. And I did have a little bit of reprieve for a couple of days. And not like that I wasn't running, but that I managed to drop my distance a little bit per day, just because we were on a 24/7 type of operation for this particular job that we were doing. And when you are on the 24/7 operation, whenever you have like a break in the schedule, it's about 60 to 90 minutes. So if you give me 60 to 90 minutes to do a run, lift, and like shower and all that stuff, everything's going to get expedited and compressed. So I had a lot of treadmill runs while I was in Houston, and some of them would be like about 1 to 2 miles, depending on how the knee was feeling that day. And I'll go into this in far more depth in my runner's knee rehabilitation video, which I will try to put out in the next couple of days, maybe in a week or so, once this thing's like 100%. And yeah, just over time, it started getting better while I was in Houston. And now, if we fast forward to, again, this Saturday, I was aiming to do 2 miles a day, and I was comfortably able to run a 5K, and even a little bit more with this particular knee soreness, which subsided like during my runs. But again, I didn't want to push it because I was keeping two things in mind. One, I wanted to keep the distance a little bit lower. I didn't want to stop running, just keep it a little bit lower while there is some sort of code yellow injury occurring, maybe code orange for some people. And also, I was keeping in mind that I do have a race tomorrow, which is the Pol-Independence 10K, which I was ready to just not show up for and do, but as it stands right now with the current condition of my knee, I might actually turn up and try to put an honest effort for a race. So, again, you guys might be thinking I'm insane for trying to race with an injury, and that's a fair assessment. But at the same time, if I just go and just give it like, you know, an honest day's work, 10K race style, and see what happens out of it, maybe we'll have a good time. Maybe I can have a rust buster of a sort. Maybe I will make the knee feel a little bit better than it's feeling now. Sometimes I've been in a situation where just putting in a much more, I guess, specific effort on an injury actually kind of subsides it. Maybe there's like some kind of like soreness or some sort of lactic acid that breaks as a result, and in turn you actually end up feeling better after the race. Not so much like adrenaline getting you through, but like you literally like did something that snapped it back in place. Just speaking hypothetically, not like I've ever run with runner's knee or raced with runner's knee before, but there have been times where I have overcome some kind of soreness on my body as a result of racing. And I'm sure you probably have too. If you do have one, you should let me know what it was in particular, injury-wise or whatnot. But I digress. Point there is, the race is tomorrow. At the time of this video filming, I'll try to upload this probably tonight, which is going to be Saturday night. And yeah, long story short is runner's knee has kind of had me down for about a week and a half. And hopefully by the time Tokyo Marathon training officially starts, this injury will be like 100% gone. Hopefully no other injuries will occur because the proper lifestyle changes will have occurred at that time to allow for successful training leading up to, you know, my first marathon of 2024, and hopefully a healthy, fast start into racing marathons once again, because it's been a minute and I have gone from this month being the bad to worse type of month, where first I don't run the Chicago Marathon because of sickness, to now I'm not running because I have a literal injury. So something has to change, and we're going to make those changes soon, and hopefully it goes well. So I'm going to leave the video here, just kind of a, you know, a rambling, a kind of a lecture of things going on so far before the training officially starts. But again, turkey trot season is kind of up in the air depending on how the knee feels, but after November 23rd we get into Tokyo Marathon training and it's going to be sick. So I'll leave the video here. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys in the next one.